Get ready to be inspired by the great things happening in rural education. The Rural Scoop will bring you new ideas and innovative solutions. We'll dive into education issues and we'll highlight what's working in your rural communities. You'll hear from a variety of educators, administrators, professionals, and others who will provide relevant and engaging content in each episode. And now, for a special episode recorded at the Arizona Rural Schools Association Conference, here's your host, Ty White.
All right. First question to break the ice and make this comfortable, right? No trick questions in the room. What's your name and why did you come to the Resilient Rural ARSA Conference?
My name is Emily Sankey, and I came to the Arizona Rural School Association Conference as part of the team to recognize, not only to present a little bit about AI, but also to learn more about the Arizona rural schools and be part of the community of education leaders.
And you say to bring the team.
Here we are.
But that's so tell our audience.
Thank you. Yeah, so I have my partner here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Amber Morrow, and this is one of my most favorite conferences because there is so much great information that can come from so many incredible minds in a short amount of time. I love to see how communities interact that stretch all across the state of Arizona and share like-minded ideas, and everybody is just so excited to chart the course together. I think every year I walk out of here feeling more and more empowered and wanting to do more and more great work within our rural communities, because as they're recognizing what they have, what their untapped abilities are, we are excited to partner with them and help enhance all the great things that they're doing. So if we can be their cheerleader, if we can be an advocate, if we can just be a resource, that's really what our goal is to build relationships with them and know that they can call us with anything they need.
Okay. So how many times have you been to this one now?
This is like my fourth year.
Fourth year.
Yeah. Actually, no, that's not true because COVID, we didn't do one then.
But you were here in 21.
I was here in 21. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a magical year for me.
Ah.
What has been your favorite part you've seen so far? Like we're approaching the end of the day. What's really stood out to you?
I've really enjoyed seeing the conversation and the collaboration. When I look around the room, whether we're having a meal together or if we're in an actual session, it's really neat to see the engagement and the collaboration, to see the ideas flowing to support one another.
I would say my favorite thing is to witness the aha moments, whether it's, you being engaged in a presentation and be like, oh my gosh, but I've seen so many opportunities where people have had that experience, whether it be connecting with another peer, connecting with another school, or listening to a speaker. I think that's really cool to see just the mindset shift, because that's really powerful. I think we all walk away with that.
Did you guys present here? I know you're here as vendors, but I don't know if you also had a session.
Yes, we're both sponsors, and then every year we submit 4 sessions, which historically we've always had. This year, Emily and one of our superintendent partners talked a little bit about their personalized partnerships that they provide, and talked a little bit about AI as well. So they did a session together this morning.
I'm going to frame this next one as vendors, right? Okay. So for our audience, why don't you share a little bit about what it is that you offer and how you can help them out?
You did such a great job at this. Okay. So I think what gets us excited is we love to bring resources into the communities. And if we have the opportunity to bring free resources, it's an even more exciting opportunity for us, because anytime something is free, that's just icing on the cake. And so I think one of the great opportunities that we've been tasked with is ASU's developed a brand new curriculum for the core high school classes. And we are able to provide that to any rural Title I or tribal school at no cost. And the curriculum is just really exciting, innovative things that will allow the teachers to be in the driver's seat and deploy these new tools or resources, but not overwhelm them, really to support them and not to take away from what they're doing in the classroom, but to add and maybe even lighten their load, because we're now seeing these great things like AI and all these trends happening. But I think a lot of teachers are feeling, where do I start? How do I make this work for what I've already done? Or I've already put so much work in as a seasoned teacher that I don't want to rebuild what I've the wheel I've constructed. So we get to come along side by side and figure out how this beautifully meshes well with what they're already doing, whether they're a seasoned teacher, whether they're a newbie. We're just really excited about educating and bringing that opportunity, because when the students get in and the teachers feel empowered, magical things happen in the classroom. And so to be able to see really great work happening in the rural communities and complement it by giving the teachers those tools at no cost that actually allow them to be in the driver's seat, that I think gets us just really excited going in school to school and seeing the progress that's being made. And so today we're really trying to get the word out that that's something that we're really passionate about sharing, and we'll sit down with your teachers and at no cost, we'll work side by side with them. We'll train them. We'll make sure that they have a great tool and asset so that they can deploy, call us, we're boots on ground. And, I think for ASU is all about the home team, and the home team represents all of our teams. Not just, the big teams, but the little teams and the underserved teams and the teams who really need us. So we try to make sure that that we create opportunities that are accessible for all, because at ASU, we really believe all kids can. And if we're going to say that, we got to mean that. And so that means we got to get in everywhere and make sure that all kids can. So
How can you top that? I think it was really great.
Can you tell me about your rural experience?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely enjoy the amount of work and opportunity that I've had in the last, especially year alone, working in the rural region. I've been working closely with the Copper Corridor and really trying to understand the roots of their community and the dynamic inner workings, and figure out ways that as a university, we can help preserve and positively impact the great things that are happening. So we have been pushing in with support to be, whether it's a thought partner, whether it be to come side by side with community members, future opportunities, creating pathways for kids, working side by side with, small businesses, big businesses, working with the superintendent to ensure standards are aligned. We really have come to the table with all the right stakeholders to be able to create something that the kids will want to stay in the district for. That's something that's really important to us. I know a lot of people get nervous sometimes about an outsider coming in. Are those kids going to leave our community? Are they going to move to the city? But really, ASU comes into the community to push in and to want to see that be built upon and create new, exciting, innovative ways and see that community flourish and grow. So in the past year, we have seen incredible things happen in the Miami School District, in the Globe, Hayden Winkleman, Superior. I could give them all incredible shout outs, but really the work that they're doing together, coming alongside of each other to elevate success for all their learners in their community is pretty amazing. So my rural experience has been highly impacted just by seeing the great work of the people who are boots on ground every day, putting forth the time and energy to change the future outcomes so that those children who end up going to high school there and graduate will want to stay there. They're going to become something great. They can come back and grow into their own community and have their own families there and be proud of one day. And we're starting to see that. It's a slow and steady roll. We know it won't happen overnight, but we truly believe that if we start with creating the right foundation, as I believe is happening right now, beautiful things will start to grow from that. So I absolutely love that when you get into a rural community, I actually enjoy that sometimes one person does 17 roles. I'm sure they don't enjoy that, but you can elicit change a little bit quicker by making sure that you're interacting with the right people who are able to implement tomorrow. And so we've seen some movers and shakers happen. We've seen some big shifts happen, and things that would normally maybe take substantial amounts of time because of movers and shakers and people being brought to the table with high stakes. These communities have made monstrous changes like overnight. It's pretty cool. So I'm just really excited about more and more common, like-minded thoughts happening around the great work that's happening there, and that it will be a trickle-down effect, because places like this conference exactly empowers our superintendents and our school leaders to come together and share these ideas. And so I just think it's only a matter of time before we'll see that hopefully begin to grow throughout the state. But really great stuff happening in the area of Copper Corridor.
And as a new member of the team, I really enjoyed being able to join Amber on road trips, get to meet go to places I've never been actually in the state of Arizona, even though I've lived here almost all of my life, but really just being able to engage with the community and the people. Listening to what they have going on is really powerful and magical. And just seeing how ASU is really not just saying that they want to be this partner, but they're really acting upon it. And it's really exciting to be a part of all of it.
What does the rural advantage mean to you?
The rural advantage means to me, I think rural has a really unique opportunity where they are able to scratch that. That was good. Okay. I think it means to me that rural has a unique opportunity to really delve into some untapped resources. I think they're still in the midst of recognizing what those are, but as they gather, as they share like minds, as they come together with different other innovators in their practice, I think they're recognizing they're sitting on a gold mine of untapped potential. And as they begin to empower their community members and their teachers and their educators and their administrators and leaders, I think great things will start to happen. They already are happening. We've known this for a long time, but they're really about to elevate as they begin to recognize they're sitting on just a gold mine of knowledge, and believing in their people, their towns, and communities, I think are really important. And they do that. They get behind them very strongly. So I think that is definitely the role advantage.
So you even managed to work in the conference theme, right? Elevate Rural.
Yes, indeed.
I'm just kidding. You need a co-host time?
You got your girl.
Joking.
Do you want to take that one?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I definitely believe in the rural advantage has the small town magic to it. And when I think of rural advantage, I think of community, I think of smaller. So being from the city, everything is in such a larger scale. So having that rural advantage really means that you have those relationships. You can count on your neighbors. You can know that the person down the street might also be your child's teacher. And I think that's really special, that you're living life together and not just in silos of work versus school and life, kind of blending it all.
Okay. One of my favorite parts of this ARSA conference is that they recognize 10 outstanding rural teachers. All 10 of those teachers have done amazing things to get this kind of recognition. And, I know we only choose the one to be the Rural Teacher of the Year representative. But when it makes me reflect, it's like, I just want to share examples of those teachers that have really shaped and influenced us. Do y'all have a teacher you'd like to shout out?
Oh, no.
Okay.
In full honesty, we work mostly with the administrators, so I don't know.
Well, I meant in your own life too.
Oh,
Did you have a teacher?
My whole life. I grew up in Chandler Unified School District.
What does it matter? I'm just trying to celebrate
teacher.
teachers.
I'm
happy to jump in on this one. I had a high school English teacher that was extremely supportive. And in fact, I was nominated and received Charo Teacher of the Year in 2023. And I had given a shout out to Mrs. Keller. Mrs. Keller, being my English teacher, really recognized me as a student and helped me to flourish as a writer. She and her husband actually also worked at the school. So I really admired what they brought as a duo. And, they really embedded themselves within the community. They were chaperones when we went on an international senior trip. And I just thought that was really needed them to experience that with all of us.
I want to make a shout out. I'm going to shout out my mom. My mother was an educator in the Chandler Unified School District, which inevitably, without choosing this, I followed her path. Kidding, Mom. But it was really embedded in my DNA. And she taught me about what it took to put kids first every day and embed these core values that I continue to live by. And I look back and I think, gosh, I'm so lucky to have her as a mom. She was an incredible teacher and leader too. And so I can't believe that I'm thinking about that.
Right, that's a great answer. We'll edit out where you couldn't think of that.
Yeah, thanks, but I appreciate it. No, but she definitely made me think and want to be a part of the education change and want to produce change and want better for our kids.
I always joke, I think that teaching must be a genetic disorder.
It is.
My mom was a teacher. My wife's mom was a teacher. It just
I will not be a teacher.
Yeah, I've told Not that I don't love this profession. I do, but I've made it clear to my daughter, she wants to be an astronaut. You're not going to be a teacher.
Yeah.
You're not going to follow this road.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, but let her do it. Those big goals first, right?
Yeah. Love that. Love that you're supportive like that.
You'll have a big network across the state. You talked about the Copper Corridor, and then you're building it and growing it, right? What would you say to someone who probably ought to be here, but they're not sure about how to commit their time or their resources? What would you share with them about this conference that might convince them to come next year?
So I am happy to take this one. I'm actually so excited that my Copper Corridor friends are here, which historically they have not usually been a part of, or even members of ARSA. I think this conference, even spending, if you're only able to get here for just today alone, is so meaningful, impactful, and worth the travel and the commute, because connecting with people who are elevating student success, who are changing the game, who are working hand in hand with their communities, who are building path. I mean, you will walk out of here flourishing with ways and ideas that will innovate and excite you to go back and start implementing these things into your own variation of what your school or district looks like. So all three folks that joined from the Copper Corridor that are here today each pulled me aside and said, I will be back. I'm so glad. I did not know about this before. I should have been a part of this. I will be a part of this moving forward. And so just to hear that and see people show up, that you're like, hey, this is an opportunity you don't want to miss. And then, reconfirm that when they walked out the door today, or when they walk out the door tomorrow, or even just walking out of a session. It's like, that feels really good to keep connecting folks that are doing great work. So
I definitely see the relationship. As educators, many times we feel that we are on an island. And I think it's really fabulous that people are together, like-minded professionals with the same goal to elevate rural. And I think it's really powerful to have that connection and to have that human contact, and not just be an email, that sort of thing. That'll come in the long run. But just like seeing you here today, Ty.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening to The Rural Scoop. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe, or even leave us a comment. And be sure to follow on Twitter at Dr. Sadorf. That's Dr_SADORF, so that you never miss a new release. You can also check out previous episodes of The Scoop wherever you get your podcasts. Production support for The Rural Scoop is provided by Chattanooga Podcast Studios. Find out more at ChattanoogaPodcastStudios.com. See you next time for more great discussions about rural education.